especially when you're making your own empire.
For sure.
I don't think we should have full separation though.
Okay.
But I do feel like there needs to be a certain kind of unity in the Black community.
Most definitely.
Because I feel like right now we don't really have that like leadership.
Yes.
We don't have people to like really like hold on to, like say like, okay, this my bank because I trust them because they did this, and they've been here for the community. No, we bank with the other people because they trusted by the other people, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
They've taught us things and we've just followed it and
Just
they
follow. Episode 3.
All right, y'all. EP3. So we're back with another good EP. Actually, we got a lot of good content for right now for you guys.
Great content going on.
Yeah. We do want to do something different though. And this EP, we want to start off with like, how was your week segment. We gonna try to implement something different every week. But so I guess we're just gonna ask each other like that question, like what's going on in your week, and then anything you wanna like tell people, like benefit from, anything you learned.
Man, really just starting off with this movie. This movie that we're introducing to y'all. They Cloned Tyrone. Big. It's been on my mind all week. Really. Just trying to reaching out to write about it, and then just expressing it to y'all. Once we break it down, hopefully y'all can take away some big points that'll hopefully be beneficial for the culture.
Yeah.
So this week was definitely good for me. A good self-reflecting week. Got some self-care in, of course. Meditating, working out, whatnot, going to work, of course.
Yeah.
But that was my week. How about you?
Sure. Honestly, my week been good too as well. Like I was telling J4 earlier, like I've been busy all weekend. Went to go visit family. My dad just retired from the Air Force, and then honestly, yeah, just spent a lot of time with family this weekend. And then also this week coming up is my last week of my internship, so
yes, sir.
So very, very thankful for that, for real. So that's pretty much how my week been.
For sure.
And yeah, so that's something new that we're gonna start adding to the podcast. Each segment we're gonna do something different. So
sure. And y'all can tell us how y'all week going.
Yeah, for sure.
We can benefit off y'all. So we're gonna jump right into it.
Yeah. So like you mentioned, we are gonna be talking about a movie that he actually told me to watch, and I was like, okay. I saw a preview of it like when it first dropped.
Okay.
I didn't click on it though.
It didn't click in.
It didn't click in yet. But after I watched the video again, after he sent it to me, I was like, okay, this could be something good for real. So you can introduce the movie and everything.
For sure. So the movie, if y'all haven't seen it already, please do go check out They Cloned Tyrone. I feel like this is definitely a movie that's speaking to Black culture more specifically, because we are one of the cultures that are gentrified or put at one of the more marginalized groups, if you want to say whatever have you. This was definitely something that definitely a wake up call, I would say.
Yeah.
If you're not aware of like what's going on in these such communities, I would definitely lock in and wake up, because this was definitely something that needs to be addressed, and I don't think many people or many platforms are discussing it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Honestly, like if y'all haven't yet, go ahead and watch the movie. I don't think we're gonna put too many spoilers in here, but if you haven't already, just go ahead and watch the movie, and then you'll understand where we're coming from with this topic as well.
Most definitely.
So we're gonna dive straight into it. If y'all haven't watched it yet, the gist of it is three main characters. They go by the name Yo-Yo, Slick Charles, and the main character is named Fontaine.
Fontaine, for sure.
Yeah. So
Fontaine, I guess you could say he's the protagonist per se, and how do I go?
Yeah, like he pretty much his character. He's a thug. He's a community thug. Everybody know him. This is what he do. He sell, do this, we do it.
Big man on the block.
Exactly.
And so he's chosen to. Wow, damn,
yeah, I mean, hey, y'all watching the video? If y'all haven't seen it before, it's alright. Like,
Yeah, okay. If you haven't seen it before, if you've seen it, cool. But if you haven't seen it, stop watching.
Go watch it.
Please watch it.
Spoiler alert.
But spoiler alert. Okay, we just gonna spoil. We just gonna spoil.
Yeah.
So Fontaine, he's the big time drug dealer. Basically like the face of this little community. Everybody knows him. Woo. But you know he gets cloned, and it's so. But like behind the lines, it's deep. Like it's something that really needs to be talked about as far as like what's going on with our government in America, who they're targeting,
how they doing it.
Yeah. And it's basically like like what y'all, okay, we're doing this, what are y'all gonna do about it? So that's really the gist of this whole episode. We're trying to explain like, okay, so the gist of this episode is the solution of, okay, we need to take a stand on this. This problem needs to be addressed. Like, so.
And definitely exactly what he said. Like we want to present that message to y'all. We want y'all to understand like this is an ongoing issue that people haven't really tried to find a solution for.
For sure.
And then like he was saying, it's way bigger than the clone situation. I think that's something that the movie just wanted to put on. But as far as what's really going on is I view it as the mind control. It's how they have implemented things in our community, and we have become subject to it in a way. Like this is some things that we become used to, and like now we kind of like living out like they dream, they vision for our lives in a way. So in the movie there was a lot of things that they injected into the black community, and then as we already know about drugs, alcohol, prostitution, food,
hair products, all the things like on a whole scale, really everything that you want to imagine that's being put in a black community. A chronically underfunded black community. So like the school systems, hair products, like we saying,
and all these are things that we
television.
ourselves, exactly, television. All these things are things that we can't even own, like because that's just the way that life has been. Like we haven't had that opportunity
in this system.
Sure. So
especially in America. So this, I'm just cut to it. This is this is it. Like now is the time. I feel like we are in, as the Bible says, the last days. I feel like this is the time for those that are woke to take action, to do something. Because this movie here, like this is basically the system saying like, okay, we're doing this to y'all as in black communities. What the hell y'all gonna do about it? So it's like, I feel like we've done a lot, and it's cool. I think this was quoted in the movie too. It's cool to have ones that think like you, but it needs to be more action, initiative taken. So I think
that's true.
This movie was a sign that action needs to be taken. Our own needs to be established.
And as you'll see, like what he's saying, like in the movie, they even emphasize this, and I think there was a quote actually, but like pretty much like at the very end, like everybody came together, like we was all one, and we actually accomplished the goal together. And this eventually, like I don't know if it's gonna be another like a sequel or nothing like that, but this kind of started like a movement in a way. So like I ain't gonna spoil that piece, but like at the end, like you'll see like somebody else, they unity in their community.
Unification. That's the answer.
Exactly. So like now we spreading the message, even though it's through the news, like we still spreading the message, like we still spreading the impact. And that was a really cool feature that they added into the movie as well. But yeah, just to dive straight into it, I got like a few facts. So like the cloning piece, cloning was like introduced back in our history in the 1885. It was first introduced by a German biologist, and he was pretty much playing with like two cells. They were sea urchin cells, and then pretty much I did a little bit more research too, and I was like, how far did this go? They've been cloning animals for a long time. So
there's a lot that we don't know.
There's a lot we don't know. Yeah, so like it was the president, I can't remember which one, but he was like, we view cloning as like unethical. Like we won't ever do human cloning, playing with our DNA, like back in like the 60s. So like that's just a little history of cloning. That was cool that I did see.
Man, so it's been around. So like you say, you gotta know that your biologist Hans Dries.
Yeah, Hans Dries, something like that. He a German biologist. So
man, and that just goes to show like all this history, all these like notions have been put forth, and then like as a community we're in the shadow. And then some of us know some of us know the stipulations we're dealt with, we were put with that hand, and like still don't take action. And I feel like I feel like it's time out for that, and it's we really need to take
action, take movement.
And so this is like we were saying in the beginning, we try to make everything solution based. We feel like this, this podcast per se is that step towards taking action.
Definitely.
Hence the name, Amerikaz Confidential.
Yeah,
so,
like we're gonna really be diving into a lot of these like confidential secrets. You know what I'm saying? Even though we ain't got all the facts, like
right,
for real.
Right. But this is the real first episode of
like the confidential.
So
and then also too, like adding on to that, like I was like, bro, like they've been cloning. They know how to clone animals, right? Like how far do you think they'll go with that? Like honestly, what is stopping the government from even trying to go further?
But I feel like in the movie though, I really don't feel like anything is stopping them to shoot, especially when it comes to us. Like the movie even showed they're doing, because we as people, we as black people don't know how special we are.
Yeah. And
so when you have these experiments, we have a group of people trying to do an experiment on you. So that they can profit and keep their economy going and doing all this. That goes to show you like, hey, wake up, like people of color. We need to wake up.
That's it.
We're a subject of an experiment, and we don't know, and we just go about our daily lives, working for the man every day, coming home, working for that check, probably going to the liquor store that Friday,
it's a cycle.
Spend our last check, in a cycle. So it's like, bruh, like, what do we? It's time, bro. It's time for a change, bro.
It is. That's true. And honestly, like adding on to that, the cycle is very manipulative. Like it's like that's what the mind control is.
For sure.
That's where the mind control starts from. It's the cycle that they implement into us, because we envision that this is our own reality. Like we have nothing else to grab onto. Like we can't imagine another future, because this is all we've been fed by them.
Exactly.
And then also too, this is something that we do know in the community. Like as for instance, we know that they've been putting things in our water, our food, and even some local leaders. I know things have been like addressed, and they've been brought to people's eye of like things, the leaders that weren't true to themselves in the past. So it's a lot of things that have been like kind of disclosed, but we as a community haven't taken action on that.
Exactly. And
then
we had these things like Black Lives Matter, or what are the other groups that?
Like well, I know there's another group like they like the police side, but you're talking about for like the black community more so.
But I feel like with Black Lives Matter, it's not funded by us. I was researching it. I'm not sure of the name, but it's not funded by like a black establishment. And if I'm not mistaken, BLM is also being the ones who fund BLM are also the ones funding the LGBTQ community. So
Okay.
with that, I feel like we don't have
That much control.
Because
I didn't even know that. I honestly didn't. That's amazing. Okay.
But also, all I'm saying, it's gonna take more than just putting your fist up in the air. It's time to take action. It's time to okay, be in those seats, be in the office.
Be the ones calling the shots.
Be the ones calling the shots because essentially, bro, we don't own none of this. Like even in the South and all these neighborhoods, like we worry about the wrong thing. We worry about like killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
But quick to say Black Lives Matter, but come on, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop until first we change our mindset, get out of the slave mindset, fix our mindsets, grow our own, build our own establishment, build our own food, so.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like we have to start implementing these core things that we need in our own communities. Like we can't always be in need of something.
For sure.
We should be that provider for our own communities.
Most definitely.
It was another movie. Well, you probably seen it, Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
I haven't actually seen that. Like I know I probably need to, but like I know there was one clip in there that they did talk about gentrification and how like we in the community, like we need to kind of come together, and we need to like actually like start buying like from our people, because eventually gentrification is gonna catch up to us, and they gonna be buying us out. We're gonna be buying their products.
Right. And then I mean that's essentially what we've been doing now. I mean it's, you kind of hate to say it, but it's the truth. The truth is that we're in modern day slavery.
Yeah.
And so we have these folks working. You have these folks put in these communities, distracting them from whatever purpose they have of seeing more for themselves. When they're put in these groups, marginalized, it's like what can they do?
Yeah.
So, and then my thing is we see this as a problem. What are we gonna do to take this action?
I think that's like the biggest question, and that's honestly the biggest question.
And it's scary because I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that movie had me want to go to war.
Yeah.
That movie really had me want to say like, okay, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing like these killings, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I just feel like they Cloned Tyrone was like the.
Where do you feel like it starts? Like, where do you feel like the change starts?
I feel like it starts with a mindset, of course.
Mindset. So
but of course, you're gonna have, especially in our community, you're gonna deal with those with the big egos, the big like the narcissists. Okay, bro, like who am I to change? You're gonna deal with the egos. You're gonna deal with fear, of course, but
they're gonna have to accept it though eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like what's that saying? Like, best, if you're not willing to live or something, best be willing to die for something, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like revolutionary. I mean, war has been the answer. I mean, I don't know how else to sugarcoat it, but I feel like we're gonna have to. First, it's gonna start with like-minded individuals coming together, building something, building an establishment to be a force against the system, corporate, whatever.
Yeah. And when we say like, I feel like because people might get that like misconstrued. Like when we say go to war, we really mean just having our own empire.
For sure.
We want to be the people that are providing for our own people. We don't want them having to go out and get scammed, get anything done wrong to them, because we are gonna be looking out for them. Exactly. And it's just because like that's just the way the world is.
Exactly.
So that's what us going to war looks like. For sure. Definitely. So
now let me ask you something.
Okay.
So prior to us being integrated or whatever, do you think that we were better off segregated because then we did have our own banks and stuff. We did have our own restaurants or whatever have you, our own little communities. But I feel like with that, with now we have the luxury to do that now that technology is up to date, up to speed. The world is changing. Do you think that we would be better off separated now?
No, like for the way I view it, because that can also get like really like misconstrued as well, especially when you making your own empire.
For sure.
I don't think we should have full separation though.
Okay.
But I do feel like there needs to be a certain kind of unity in the Black community.
Most definitely.
Because I feel like right now we don't really have that like leadership.
Yes.
We don't have people to like really like hold on to, like say like, okay, this my bank because I trust them because they did this, and they've been here for the community. No, we bank with the other people because they trusted by the other people, you know what I'm saying? So they've taught us things and we've just followed it in their steps. So.
And there's another quote too, I was watching somebody, it was like, if you giving somebody the right to feed you, you also giving them the right to, you giving them more power or something like that over you. You giving them, if you, say you sitting in a restaurant, you're giving that waitress or that cook or owner, whoever it is, you're giving them power over you, essentially, to, put whatever in the food, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
they go into like a big topic. This is something I definitely want to address eventually. But like, what is your influence? Like, what's influencing you? I feel like we need to all ask ourselves that question. Like,
that's true. That is true.
What are you feeding yourself daily? That goes into a lot of aspects of like everything.
That's big.
So, I also too, they touched on that in the movie. Like they touched on everything, bro. Like they literally fed those people like a story, like a life of them being in a trance. Yeah, like they literally fed them the only story that they ever knew. So this is all they ever believed in. So let's just be mindful of like what we feeding ourselves.
And we see how it ties into our community. So it's like I keep saying like what are we gonna do? And like what I was saying, who influences you and who you follow is literally the byproduct of who you are and what you're made up to be. So if I want to say to my people, like it's time to make that change. It's time to reevaluate. It's time to branch out. Seek your full potential. Seek that leader that's instilled into us all.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Because they know, and we know who we're referring to. They know what we're capable of.
Yeah, that's true.
But if we keep ourselves distracted by whatever social media, whatever's popping on whatever platform, we'll never know. Yeah. So
that goes back into last VP. You got that vision. You're not stable. You unclear. You don't know where you're going.
So it's essentially all this stuff ties into one big goal of enlightenment, essentially, to bring about change for the better. And we're not speaking on like, of course, it empowers to the people, but essentially America in itself is a hustle. We're not saying that blacks are the only ones set back. There are some like white,
that's true,
lower class communities,
Mexican,
so it's
Italians.
It's all in the system. All of these lower funded communities, all about what are we gonna do? So like we're saying, it's time for sure.
Yeah. I don't think people also realize it's not just African American community. Like they need lower communities all around the world.
For sure.
And people feed off of that. That's how I guess government kind of establishes itself in a way.
Most definitely.
So we have to all be aware of it. And I think this message was just specific for the black community, but it's for everybody.
Most definitely. And then I want to say, we're not the only ones being made aware of this situation, like I've looked into it, like different things on Instagram and stuff like that. I mean, it's a lot of people starting to wake up, and so I feel like I was saying, like first episode, I feel like Gen Z, we're the ones to really put a knock on this thing, really combat against the system.
So like another thing I got on here, and this may be a touchy subject for a lot of people, but like I feel like the two most places, and this was touched on in the movie as well, but like the two most places that people kind of gather, especially in our community, is like the churches and clubs.
For sure.
I don't know how like that is looked on as another race, but in the movie it was like that's where they targeted us at.
For sure.
And as a matter of fact, I know even back in like civil rights, that's where they targeted us at, in churches. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's blatant, bro. It's blatant, like, and they're putting stuff in our food to literally to set us back, to hold us back. And it's like, what more does that have to say for you to take action in this
this issue, in this world, yeah. Like we have to take a stand. That is true. We have to take a stand on all this. And then honestly, like me just understanding that, it's like you now have to be aware of the places that you feel safe in. Like honestly, because you gain influences by people that go there, the people that are leaders in those communities.
Sure.
So that is very touchy, but I think what the movie was emphasizing is that community is targeted the most.
Yes.
Because it has that much influence. So people that are church leaders, they have to be aware of this,
So
and they have to stand
influence.
true to who they are, to what
sure.
they believe in.
For sure.
So
And the ones that's being targeted, it's time to wake up. Like us, like I said earlier, like they know what we're capable of. There's no excuse for us not to want to be curious and know, okay, why are we being used as an experiment? It must be for some special reason, because we as black people, we are the most, not to knock any other
race out
race
of
or
it.
class or whatever, but
Yeah.
black melanated people are very special in this world. So I don't know why, but it's just cards was dealt from the man above. So with that being a notion, we have to take that into account and turn this narrative over. So
That's true. And then another point I put on here as well is, if the opportunity asks for you to change yourself or your message, don't take it. Like, we have to be aware of opportunities. Like, not everything's a yes. Everything should be a yes.
for sure.
We have to be aware that people are going to try to mislead you and try to actually affect your audience as well, especially when you have a platform such as this, when you have a voice.
For sure. And we can't be gullible to things. Gotta question everything. Don't just see everything from one side. Essentially, we just need like free thinkers.
Because
a lot of us, we're caught up in this system of this cycle, as we say, the rat race.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I was like where I stated earlier, going back to the movie. We see it put in our community. We see it put in our stores. I mean, it's bullcrap put in our food. Like we talked about prior to this, like they're putting lab meat in our lab-related meat in our in our food. So it's like you see it being done, but it's like, okay, now it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Time to take action. Time to be that spark, be that change. So,
and I think honestly and truthfully, like where it really starts is like the awareness, but also too like the planning of the next steps as well.
For sure.
Like I think what we are trying to do is establish like a community for people to do this planning, to actually like live out these steps that we are addressing to y'all. So this is something that we will definitely be implementing
Sure.
as far as the community.
Most definitely. And we have this podcast to plant the seed to our community. So we feel like this is the most adequate solution as far as us goes, as young black men in America. We feel as if platforms are the best way to express ourselves and reach back to our communities. And us as people, we need to actually soul search and find different ways to uplift ourselves rather than deteriorating our own. So
yeah, I got a question on here too, that we can kind of go back and forth on. But like, where do you feel like the idea that we need to control someone comes from, especially in America? Where do you feel like that comes from?
I feel like the idea of needing to control someone all related back to slavery.
Slavery.
I would say, because it's so like prevalent in our community.
Mm-hmm.
I would say definitely slavery. And America wasn't built with the intentions of keeping us black people per se free, because there still was slavery going on even after the Constitution was written.
Yeah.
So I feel like you asking that question, I would say that it derived from slavery.
Derived from slavery.
And then,
so with it deriving from slavery, do you feel like the United States as a whole, have they learned from it? Because it was abolished, of course, but like, do you think that we have eventually, they have eventually like said like, oh, this is something we might need to bring back? Do you feel like that could ever come into light eventually? Like, so
the time, I feel like. So you saying? So ask one more time.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much asking like, do you feel like slavery will ever exist again? Like
I feel like it does exist.
You feel like it does exist?
Yeah, I feel like it very much does exist. Like this movie showed for sure. It's definitely more modernized. I want to say that.
Yeah, it's a different form of it.
It's a different time.
Mm-hmm.
We're all created equal, whatever. But the system still has us separated per se. Still has an agenda put out for us to keep us, out of the loop,
mm-hmm.
out of, seeking the truth, seeking what's the righteous path, because, it's all an agenda. I would say to keep us held back. That's what I say. I say it definitely does.
Yeah.
It does exist.
Yeah.
Modern day slavery.
Modern day slavery, and I can agree on that, because when I was thinking on that question, I was like, yeah, it came from like slavery. It came from us being like segregated. Like these are things that they have made a profit out of.
Right.
Like, but eventually they're gonna try to make another profit out of a community that is less than, that doesn't have more. And I mean, what else can we do but come together, unify, like we've been telling y'all, and actually like stand together? Because if we being honest, even on the plantation, it was a lot more slaves than that was actually working the plant. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's true.
It was more people that could have actually stood up, but like that was something that we were brought into. That's a whole different story.
Something that we adopted to and then carried over, even into now present time. We have all these. We're so caught up in the system, we're scared to take that stand.
Yeah.
I feel like it. Like I said, it does have to do with fear. It has to do with, can I trust my brother? Because that's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, especially in our community. Like,
yeah.
Can we even trust our own?
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like once you solidify that, y'all can come together, which one starts with training the mind,
mm-hmm.
educating yourself, and then taking the action that's necessary. So that's my take on that question.
That question. But you got anything else from the movie that you want to mention? That's all my notes I got for that one.
The movie, so first I feel like we got to get serious as a people. It's been come too far, and like we've already been set back enough. I just feel like there's no reason we should be even. So example, that hoax that just came out 2-3 weeks ago. Girl, filed a complaint, said that she went missing, or there was
Well, no, she actually like she pretty much like did like a police thing. Well, her parents or family did like a police report on like her being missing.
Okay.
But I don't know about the family. I don't know if they actually knew about it.
Okay, so her family did a police report about her being missing.
Yeah. But the whole story kind of started from her like going out and trying to like save a child that was on the side of the road.
Okay.
But you know, we eventually learned
Ultimately,
it's a little different from that.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, just getting serious. Back on that situation, we can't be having like, now is not the time for like hoaxes and jokes, especially during these times where they're putting out movies, talking discreetly really to us. Like, hey, we're doing this to y'all, what are you gonna do about it? It's like, come on. Ain't no excuse for a girl to blow a situation out of proportion just for some clout. It's like, what are we doing? And so you have that, and then realistically we have all these other people missing. Like, it's like where are those people going? Like, what's so that the movie also, when you asked me another take on my other take, I also wondered like, okay, where are all these other girls or people going missing, like molested or what? Where are they really going at? Because it's a lot of reports. Like,
there's a lot,
in our own community, in these like marginalized communities, like what's really going on? What's happening? So,
and the cases, they're actually growing a lot more than they were. It's more common now. And then just recently, I think there is a movement going on, but just recently a girl was discovered. She was gone for 2 years, and she got reunited with her family. So it's just like, there's a lot of stories that I don't think we should take lightly too.
For sure.
These are people, kids, mothers, everything, you know. So
and it's a bad look on us because it's like, come on, you can't. Making us look bad. The stigma is already bad as it is, so we don't need anything making it any worse than what it is. So.
That was a big piece I saw in the movie too. Like, they had a lot of those missing poster signs.
Yeah.
And it was that one girl the whole movie. So if y'all do watch it, if y'all haven't watched it already, like y'all should pay attention. That was that one girl.
Please pay attention. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Literally.
Don't watch it. Watch it.
And like at the end, bro, like when she got reunited, like with her family, like that was a big snippet. Like, y'all need to pay attention. So like that should like emphasize more. So like we should be aware, like that. We touched on the racial aspect of it, but like also too, like this is a big thing going on nationwide. So
in every hood, every corner, and it takes us all. Like, we need every crib, every blood, every game banger.
No matter who you are, you can make a difference. Simple
Male,
as that.
female, kid, children. It's time.
Simple as that.
It's time.
I think one of the last things I did want to mention about the movie was the way the gentrification was done. It was I guess he was like the person that was kind of over everything in the movie, but he was pretty much like, hey, we had this one main character, we gonna keep recloning him, because each version, we kind of, in a way that he was kind of like living out his like life to make the community worse, in a way, and that's why they kept cloning him. And it was.
He didn't know.
He didn't know that.
Man.
And honestly, it was kind of sad at one point, because that he found out that his mom
was
not even his, like, you know what I'm saying?
And
like,
it makes you think, like, how long has this been going on?
Yeah.
How long was he put in this situation? How long has he been this subject for these people?
Yeah. And so that was a big takeaway from me, honestly. Was like how, honestly, the government views those people. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, they do this bad for the community, but like they actually helping us out. Like they bringing down the property value. Now, guess what we can do now? Now we can invest in those buildings because we can buy at a lower price, and now we can flip them, renovate them, and make profit. And guess what? Guess what we stuck to live at in places that they put us, the next project, the next area. So it's like
it's all a game, bro.
Bro. It's
all us.
It's a cycle.
I would just say, that is the America's depiction of us in slavery right now. I feel like that movie was. Yes, this is
the modernized way
this is
of
the modernized
yeah.
way of slavery, and black people, we have y'all by the neck. What are y'all gonna do about it? That's my last take on the movie. So
yeah.
I was real amped up after seeing it. You know, I was hyped for Rod to see it because I was ready to discuss.
Yeah.
So
we was gonna sit down and watch it together. Like trying to actually like run through it, but yeah. I agree. One, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but like the nutrition piece, like I feel like we're not really as aware of what we supposed to be intaking into our bodies, and then also things that we brought in from like our past generations. Like we've been doing the same things our parents have been doing. So like we gotta make the change. We gotta do our own research. Let's go with the church thing as well. We gotta do our own studies and just understand for ourselves.
Being aware. Yeah. Being aware of these patterns. Like he was saying, this generation is like going on down south, the thing is that fried chicken and southern food, like I mean it's good food, but it's not good food.
And why is there so many churches? Like why is there so many
Popeyes in our community, you know, meant to destroy us.
Yeah. So why is it always a liquor store
on every corner?
Every corner.
Like
these things we gotta think about.
Yes, we have to stop and ask ourselves, like, okay, this is, motherfucker, this is a trap. Like, this is a trap. Like, it's a Publix on the strip, right?
Yeah.
College town, kind of. Everything is based off of property tax, tuition, what we paying. I mean, at our school, it's always some construction going on at UA, always. So I went in Publix and I noticed it was like all black workers or older folks per se in there. But one thing was different was when I traveled to like the Northport. That's like the more invested city, or more, white or middle class. So I go to that Publix and it's like bigger. I'm saying like, dang, they got an abundance of things. They got organic snacks, and I'm looking like, man, okay, something's definitely going on. Something's definitely going on. Yeah. If I'm seeing, my little small community. They got this little small scale of snacks or a small scale of food, but they don't have like the wide range of
it's not a big variety of
things. So it's definitely something that I've been aware of since I was 16, actually studying more into gentrification. But
that's good.
Just something that.
That's good.
I'm sure a lot of us are aware of it, but it just needs to be more of us taking that action.
A lot of that comes from them saying like, oh, we don't take care of what they, what's established, so we're gonna give y'all the worst value that we can possibly, you know what I'm saying, so that we don't have to continue to make modifications and do all this stuff because we're viewed as like we're viewed as like a lesser community in a way.
Right.
We're not gonna appreciate.
Facts.
But that's not true. When we see that our community is appreciating us, that's where that change starts. That's when we actually start taking care of our sidewalks, like sweeping up the streets, doing anything we can to preserve the peace of our community. So I think that there's a mindset shift that has to start with everyone.
Most
honestly,
definitely.
so
Most definitely.
yeah,
Most definitely. And we know what we're capable of. Like, hell, I mean, some of the, it's what, 3, 4, 5-year-old girls with high IQs coming out and graduating early. So it's like, we're a special group of people, but it's like, we just gotta come to our senses and realize that it's a system set out to keep us behind. And things like this like really irk me when I'm aware of it, and then I look at my brother who is caught up in the world and not, you know, trying to figure out a solution. It's like, bro, it's time. We need help.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's just like this is the call to action for even us. Like, we want y'all to like be aware of this. We want our kids to be aware of this, and we just want to continue to make improvements.
For sure.
So
It's time to build those platforms.
For sure.
That's all we got. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too. So.
It's time to be that dominant force.
Yeah.
Be the hand. Like,
Let's get it now. Let's get it.
Episode 3.
Let's get it. EP3, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Also, too, we gonna start doing a lot more interaction on the IG.
For sure. Most definitely.
Yeah, and we'll probably get together after. We'll probably set up like a live stream or anything, you know, just to get y'all more involved with us.
For
so,
sure.
Yeah.
More interactive. More content coming on the page for sure.
Oh, and I move in this weekend, so a lot more content.
Wait, yeah.
A lot more content, bro.
So we appreciate y'all. Much love. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and you know, look forward to being that stance for change.
Yep. All right, we'll see y'all in the next one.
Sure.